Make sure, please introduce the lady that has more W-2s than anybody I know.
Right, the pride of Wake Forest.
Wake Forest.
Go Deeks.
Go Deeks.
I don't know. Me and the Deeks have taken a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Wait, Chris Paul played.
No! I thought he did well. He did his part.
He did. Get him, child.
I ain't gonna get into who didn't do their part. But
LaChina Robinson to the microphone. Hey, LaChina.
hey guys, how y'all doing?
What's good?
All right.
much.
So we going into ACC Network.
Yeah.
Got that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Big dog.
Was it a natural? I mean, you from the ACC, but was it something that you had your eye on, or was it something they approached you with? How did that?
Oh, I definitely had my eye on it. I mean, when you look at some of the other college networks that have come up, and the success of the SEC network and the Big Ten, it's like. And especially when it's the conference you come from,
right,
you kind of want to help to build it, to get it off the ground. So it's definitely something I had my eye on and was excited about, but you just never know, right? This business is crazy.
Yeah.
But I got so much support. I actually was an intern at the ACC office. It was my first job after I left Wake Forest. So I know John Swafford and his wife personally.
Okay.
And I did not pick up the phone, just so y'all know. But if I didn't get the call, I might have had to go up to the office. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
No, it's nice to, go from being an intern to then them calling you and asking you to be a part of something this special. Especially for the best conference in America.
Say
I
that.
don't want to hear it.
Say that.
No,
I
we
agree
should.
with you. I agree with you. Say that. National championship just coming off Clemson. Football. Basketball is always represented.
Yeah, it fell right through their hands, but they were there.
Let's talk about the women's Final Four. I just said Baylor. Every 4 to 5, 6 years, she get a squad and she break out those suits. You know she loaded.
You know what? Kim Mulkey probably does not get the credit she deserves.
No, she doesn't.
Let me just say her whole staff, because actually a good friend of mine who used to work at Georgia Tech, Satia Messer, is her recruiting coordinator, and they've been bringing in kids.
Yeah.
They've been getting top players.
Right.
And so she is so interesting in the way she goes about coaching. Obviously, y'all can see from a visual standpoint.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
She gets wild. But those kids, believe in her, and they love the school, and they love everything it's about. And so, they're just bought in. Her players are always bought in during their time at Baylor, and she's done an outstanding job.
What does she rank in your opinion as far as coaches are currently?
Oh, man, current coaches?
I know we got Gino, we got Muffy, but
she's right there. She is, I would say 3, 4. Here's the thing. She's not only won the national championships. Okay, this is where Gino and Muffet separate themselves, is that they've consistently been in the Final Four in the last few years. So Baylor had a little bit of a drought, right? But it wasn't long.
Nah.
But that every year they are in the conversation, and that's where you want to be in women's basketball.
Right.
You want to be in the conversation that they could win a national championship. It's very different on the women's and men's side, even though there's more parity. Like, Virginia was, what a story, right? I didn't mean to take it back to the ACC, but I'm just saying.
No.
They got
put that in there.
But, all of a sudden, you were like, oh, Virginia, last few years, Virginia is kind of coming out of nowhere. There aren't a lot of teams coming out of nowhere yet in women's basketball. Oregon, you could say, right? They
I was surprised they beat Mississippi State, even though they was
Mississippi State's another team, too. You were surprised?
I thought Mississippi State had that, what they had coming back. And when you add in Lashes, our girl.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they were in Portland.
Yeah.
And that made a difference.
Yeah,
but I just thought
that
crowd was really one side. But I just thought Mississippi State being there back-to-back years, and then this year they had, even though there was a 1 seed.
Right.
Even though it's in 1 seed.
Right. But it's going to take those teams winning for us to be having the same conversation that we are on the men's side, about the Virginias of the world, right?
Was you surprised I can't think of the star's name, she came back this year for Oregon?
Oh, Sabrina Ionescu.
Were you surprised?
No, because I think once you get a taste of the Final Four and you're that close, and she did not necessarily play her best game.
Right.
So I think people were like, all right, she could have gotten there also and just been like, forget it, if she didn't think they were going to be able to get back. The key is she knows they have the pieces in place to be able to get back again next year. They'll be possibly even better. They lost only a couple key players. So, she wants another shot of it. I don't blame her.
Yeah. We got to come back. We got so much to go. Nia, no, we got you, Nia. We're going to let you go. Not just messing with you.
Nia, don't be
WNBA talk
nervous.
coming up. We got to talk. The Cambage story is very interesting. This year.
Oh, yeah.
And with all the injuries and all the things going on in WNBA, it
Yeah,
could be
it's a lot
an interesting
going on.
season. Y'all stay with us.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. You don't know what. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council. You don't know what.
Already coaching? Everybody's a coach these days. I get it. Life coach, relationship coach, financial coach. But you want to be a coach with integrity. So get certified and do it the right way. Or add coaching to the work that you already do. Join a cohort or take classes at your own pace. We have knowledgeable instructors. We have a life-changing curriculum. Go to academyofcreativecoaching.com to learn more.
It is Sean Prime from Inside the Loop with myself and Brenna B, and I've been talking about Jeans Body Tech for a minute simply because it's a premier gym in a pristine spot without a premium price. All the weight you need, all the machines you want, free parking, all in Buckhead. Come on, it's crazy. 700 Miami Circle is where you want to work out today. And for those who are feeling a little bit down because you may not have followed through on the healthy New Year resolution thing, hey, it's still the new year. You can start today. Look at yourself a year from now and hello, is that you? Because you're looking good, like snack-like. Yes, you are. 700 Miami Circle, or go to facebook.com/Jeans Body Tech, also known as JBT Fitness. Either way, $49 is nothing to pay to feel your best every day.
Hey, we're back, man. We're doing our crushing interview right now, brought to you by Orasi Software with LaChina one of the
That's
been a
our
good
dog.
friend of us for years now.
That's our dog.
Quick story. I remember when I first asked her a couple of years ago at a Dream Camp. And she was like, yes. I look at my calendar. I have no excuse not to come, and I'm glad you came there.
This is like my fourth trip, something like that.
Yes. Family now.
I'm a little harder to get a hold of during college season, though, because I know we tried to make it work.
Yeah,
But
you be on the road.
You hit me with
college is
The
tough.
ESPN had you working.
I got to fly somewhere tonight, so no, I can't make it. Hey, but it's fine. But do you love that? Do you love to be getting that being that busy and the way the women's game is being received now? And you being a big part of it. Because, I mean, let's be real. Round the rim, what you do, you're a big part of the women's game now and help to elevate it. Where do you think right now is the state of women's basketball?
I appreciate that. I just feel like for me, I'm able to give back to the sport that gave so much to me.
Right.
I mean, it made me really who I am. I wouldn't have been able to afford to go to Wake Forest if I didn't play basketball. I wouldn't have a job right now if it wasn't for basketball and the fact that I played. So, I don't know. It's kind of like that thing where God puts it on your heart what you're supposed to do, what your purpose is. And I've always known it's to help and mentor young women through the game, so it's really just a platform to help others. But women's basketball, in my opinion, is in a great place. Every time I turn around, there is a heightened level of commitment for people to cover the game. The product itself on the court is better than we've ever seen it. Faster, bigger, stronger, more skilled. The coaching is as good as it's been. And so I'm really encouraged. I think social media has helped a lot because then women's basketball didn't have to depend on the marketing dollars to be on television. I mean, we like that too, or be in a newspaper or be in a magazine. It's like now you can market yourself, and that's helped the sport tremendously.
Last college question before we go to the W. Were you surprised Notre Dame wasn't able to go back to back? I mean, they were right there. They battled back. your star, she has a chance to do it again.
Yeah, that's tough. Isn't that just gets you just right? Just
I thought they were gonna do it. I thought they were
yeah,
gonna do it.
it's Baylor was just that good. You know, you got to give them the credit, especially after Lauren Cox went down. I was like, oh, well, this is gonna be a race for Notre Dame right here. But it wasn't in the cards. But I mean, it was right there, and it's not easy to even get there.
Right.
So hats off to Muffet and arguably one of the best classes we've ever seen in the history of the game.
I'd like to ask you that to follow up about Muffet. She said she would like to see more women coaches and more women. Do you think the coverage and the coaching, do you see more women getting involved that way? Because even though it's a women's sport, you did see a lot of the men in certain positions covering it or not covering it. But
yeah.
But
to
see all more women coaches and more women getting involved and more women covering it, do you want to see more of that, or where are we at with that right now?
Yeah, it's not where it needs to be. I can tell you that, especially when it comes to women of color in college coaching, because a majority of Division I women's basketball players are black.
Yeah.
And so it's important, just as Muffet stated, for women and women of color, for all women, to see someone that looks like them in a leadership position. And so it's a problem that's being addressed in a lot of different ways. I know there's the WBCA is talking about it. We Coach is an organization that's trying to get more women in coaching. The Women's Sports Foundation created a grant in the name of Tara Vanderveer this year that's supposed to help teams, like give them funding to bring women coaches on. So it is a problem, because a coach is seen as a leader. A coach is someone who is influential in the world on campus, and so you want to see diversity, period, in those spaces, and also in the media. Just because, I mean, again, 75% or more of the WNBA is women of color, and so them being able to tell their story through the eyes of people that understand them, even you guys as African American men have a very different perspective, and that's why you telling stories is so unique too. But it should be diverse, and it's not quite there. I
was shocked with the number of coaching openings that came up. Coach Ivey at Notre Dame didn't get one of these jobs.
I have so much respect for Niele, and as someone who has actually watched her prepare a scout, I mean, I don't know that there is a more perfectionist in that role on any bench in the country. Just a true strategist, tactician, understands the game. I don't know what the scenarios were this year. I haven't seen her, haven't had a conversation with her, but I know she has a son who's getting ready to play Division I basketball, and so I think she probably had a lot more decisions to make than just taking a job. She may have turned some down. She may have declined interviews. I don't know.
Right.
But if she didn't get any phone calls,
I don't know how.
Right. Right.
Okay.
I'm just sitting there
don't let me find out that was the case. If I find out, I'm gonna come back and tell y'all.
Especially with the job here at Tech.
Yeah, I there were several high profile, and I said this on Twitter, high profile jobs, and none of them went to African American women. Like, there were a lot of African American women hired, but just not for the big jobs.
Those jobs.
And one thing that I think is sometimes overlooked, you see a lot of women of color on the college campus, working women's basketball on the bench, and they're the recruiters. They're bringing the kids in.
They're bringing the talent.
And it is so necessary for you to have a recruiter that can go into the house after Gino or after Dawn Staley or after Kim Mulkey or after and have a shot. Okay? Right. So that's step number one. And but I'm happy for all of them. Nell is someone that I know through my time at ESPN, and as far as just someone that is coached at the highest levels of the game and is so respected, very positive, will be a great role model for the kids. I think she's going to do a great job. But it's going to be an interesting year to watch those programs, the Georgia Techs, the Tennessees, the Carolinas, over the next few years.
I think also you look at Virginia, Tina Charles being there, and the AD, African American lady, that kind of helps out as well. And, just get to look and see. And Michigan did hire an assistant coach today.
Toyelle.
So
from Baylor.
We're getting trying to get them in the right places now. But I would, like you said, like to see more, not just African American women, because I do think the game, like you said, I want to see play for who I look like sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I played for an African American female coach in college, and that's one of the reasons why my mom wanted me to go there. And not to say that everyone can't, it's sad that in this country we have to be talking about this because it should just be the best person for the job.
Absolutely.
Easy.
But when you look at the numbers, there's a problem. Okay,
totally
so that
totally
can't be
different.
ignored. Yeah.
Because I've always said, like the Tennessee job, and so when Gino finally decides to walk away, who would be the next person to get that job?
Yeah.
Who wants that job is the first question.
But it should go too, because we've seen majority of the stars that have come through there are us.
I always say that two difficult jobs coming up would be who will replace Kay and who will replace Gino after they leave.
And I don't think anybody wants that kind of pressure.
Because they hadn't replaced in Tennessee. They hadn't replaced the legend yet. They hadn't, bro.
We come back. We will talk WNBA. Nia, we're going to put you on the mic, too. You get to ask a few questions, all right? That's Nia's out.
Smiling.
Already coaching? Everybody's a coach these days. I get it. Life coach, relationship coach, financial coach. But you want to be a coach with integrity. So get certified and do it the right way. Or add coaching to the work that you already do. Join a cohort or take classes at your own pace. We have knowledgeable instructors. We have a life-changing curriculum. Go to academyofcreativecoaching.com to learn more.
Marie Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch, or enough time to mix vegetables with all white meat chicken and a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie, but Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special, sit down, and savor. Marie Callender's. It's time to save.
My savings are gone.
Okay, where were they last?
Here, right before I spent them on that vacation to Aruba.
Weird. Not weird. Not saving now means no money later. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
One of the most dominant home court. Crust. You can't touch me, you're not man enough. And that's all she wrote.
Hey, you listen to Crush Sports Talk on the Sensation Station Network. It's your boy Eat Lays, and Mate Show, and also our guest, LaChina Robinson. And hey, we got a new. She ain't new no more. She's going on 3 weeks.
She ain't new. Seems like she know more people than we do.
3 weeks.
The pride of the Alabama State, the graduates. What's going on? How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
LaChina, will ask you this: how this thing played out with Kim Bailey? What are your thoughts on it? I think now she's going to a team that actually makes it more potent with her and Aja and Wilson in there. But the whole way it went down, the tears, just how she felt about doing it. What are your thoughts about how this played and, where it is taking her in her career?
Yeah, we're seeing a trend not only in the WNBA, but just in basketball, at least on the NBA side, where high-profile players want more than just basketball. KD said he wanted to have fun and he wanted to be, with friends and, wanted to get away from Russ. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He didn't say that.
He said that.
But and Liz Cambage has always been, at least to me, she loves basketball. Y'all have seen her play.
Boy,
you don't just score,
dominant
53 points because basketball is casual for you. She loves the game of basketball. but she's also a person, and she's someone who has spoken very openly about, her mental health struggles, and
Right.
that she needs a certain level of support, that she needs to be happy as a person in order to be her best all the way around. It's not just about what's on the court. And so it does not strike me that she asked for, a trade. She loved Fred Williams, who was the head coach there. That was one of the only reasons why she came back to the WNBA.
Right.
Fred did such a great job of staying connected with her. And so when he, left Dallas, I don't know how she felt about, being there and not knowing exactly what the coaching situation was. But so, at the end of the day, it's a difficult conversation when players are forcing a trade, because in this case, you didn't get your value back for her.
No, you knew you weren't going to
right.
get it.
I love Izzy and Mariah, and no knock to those players, but you just can't replace her. And so in that case, someone loses out. And it does tilt the scales, because now Vegas is looking like a favorite.
Twin Towers.
Okay? Right, to your point.
I'm looking like, I don't know how.
So,
how do you defend that?
Yeah.
So, but I just think she's so genuine about how she feels. She's so authentic. She's not, holding a gun to anyone's head. She's saying, listen, this is what I want. This is what I'd like to happen, and she's moving her weight around to create the best life that she can. She already had a really rough time in the WNBA to start. And, she talks a little bit about her days in Tulsa.
She brought up Tulsa.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
So,
under the bus you go.
Yeah, right under there. So, at the end of the day, it changes the landscape of the WNBA big time, but I'm glad to see a young woman stand up for what she wants in terms of her happiness, because life is not promised to anyone.
Which rookie are you excited to see in the W this year?
I'm going to go kind of a under-the-radar player. I am really excited to see Paris Key of North Carolina. So right now she's on Indiana Fever's roster. I don't know if she'll be cut. She seems to be performing well. Mm-hmm. But she's someone that all season long, I just felt like, there's obviously Jackie Young and Aguba Wall. There's a ton of players that you could talk about from this class, Tierra McCowan. But I just feel like there's space and opportunity for Paris Key to make a difference. I think she's going to be someone that surprises people.
Yeah.
What are you looking for this season?
Big
changes.
Yeah, I know, a lot of changes. I'm looking forward, unfortunately, is recent as today, Sue Bird made an announcement that she's going to miss time this year. And so
that's tough.
There's a lot of space created for other players to step up on various teams. Like we always hear you say that thing, when your name called, your number's called, be ready.
Next woman
up, right. Well, somebody's going to have to step up on a lot of these teams.
Well, that's a lot of shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Like that.
And we lost legends in the game like Cappie Pondexter, and who retired. So I'm looking to see who will emerge as kind of that next group of stars. It could be from anywhere. I really like Jonquel Jones. I think she can have a breakout year, even though we already know she's so talented. Kelsey Mitchell has started out well in Indiana. Diamond DeShields, I think, is going to have a good year in Chicago.
She's going to take off this year.
Yeah, so that's probably what I'm looking forward to most, is who's going to step up.
Also, hometown girl, Ariel. I want to see what she do in Seattle.
Yeah,
They've
me
tried
too.
out. Seattle is, they're not last year. Seattle was Bree out and Stewart out in.
Yeah, they're not the same at all. And Ariel is such a fun player to watch. I just hope that her game translates, because she's like a tweener, right? She's like that incredible athlete, 5'11". On the college level, can rebound anywhere, developed a little stop and pop, developed a three-point shot, but playing the three in college and playing it in the next level in WNBA is very different.
I don't think people understand that. They think, well, she did well at college. I've seen people who did well at college come to WNBA. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They don't even look the same.
You're lost.
Yeah.
You're lost.
Yeah, it's a totally
Because
different.
they would play all year long.
Yeah.
But it's funny you said it, because we just look at like Monique Billings from last year.
Oh, yeah.
From where she started to like how she finished the season. Mm-hmm. She probably the first 15 games she was lost.
Yeah. It was an adjustment.
Right.
It's an adjustment.
And through your years of like being around the WNBA, I mean, I know you've seen a lot of players, you know, come to the league, maybe were All-Americans in college and high school and stuff like that. To see that transition, what can you say, like, why is it so hard for people to adapt, or what is it about that player that, you know, they kind of get cut and stuff like that?
Well, a lot of it has to do with your college situation, right? So if your coach tells you in college you're going to play the 4 because, you know, that's the best place for you, you're going to play the 4. And you probably can't play the 4 in the WNBA because it's bigger. And the skill set you need at the 4 is very different. So then maybe you're supposed to play the 3, but your handle's not quite there, or you don't have a shot. So that's number one, is like knowing what you eventually could be and maybe on your own preparing skill set wise to play a different position. The other thing is just making sure you're focused on like weight training, nutrition. Like those are all the little things that when you're in college, they do for you. And when you get in the WNBA, you have to do for yourself. So a lot of those rookies come in, they're like, oh, I got all this free time. No, you don't. You know, you need to be closing that. Right, you need to be closing that gap. But it's not a lot you can really do until you're in the game. Like learning pick and roll offense, you know, which a lot of the teams play in the WNBA, or some teams are playing zone. A lot of them are in college, unfortunately. So then they come to the league and they got to remember how to play man to man. So it's just really watching the WNBA. Not enough college players watch the WNBA and really learn from it.
For sure.
Good point.
For sure.
We come back, you know, this knowledge right here. So we just
she dropping it.
We let it drop it all on our shows.
Let's go.
I guess. The knowledge.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I do the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Good morning, Uglyville!
Every ugly doll is unique.
I'm Moxie.
Bobo.
Wade.
Those close to me call me Slick Doll.
Which is not his name.
And every child is, too.
He can be pretty lovable.
That's why when you travel, you should make sure your child is in the right seat for their age and size.
That sounds pretty great to me.
Keep them safe by visiting nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Isn't that right, gibberish cat?
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work.
Sorry, I'm late.
Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We're here with LaChina Robinson. LaChina, what, out of your career, what have you been the most proud of?
Oh, goodness. That I'm still in this field.
Your longevity.
That I still have a job. Thought they were going to fire me a long time ago.
Hanging out with Dak Prescott after the Cowboy game.
Oh, that was nice. I like that. I I think this year really the ACC network opportunity is a full circle moment for me because throughout my career I've only really worked on year-to-year contracts. Like I've never had a longer deal, and that's pretty much what's working out with the ACC network. So, just to have that stability that I've never had, to know I'm going to have a job next year is a really nice feeling. But also, again, just coming full circle back to where I started from Wake Forest, being an intern. I mean, the people at the ACC office raised me. Like, I was joking earlier about Commissioner Swafford and his wife, but seriously, I was a lost little kid coming out of college. And so a lot of the people who were at the league office really groomed me into, like, who I am now. So it's a full circle moment. So that's really proud. But also, just hearing, young women, when they say, "Oh, I want to be LaChina Robinson," somebody said, the little girl said this yesterday. Not little girl, but a player of the WNBA, and I was like, "Wow! Like you have a chance to be Doris Burke, and you want to be me? Like that is amazing." So that just makes me feel good that maybe I left a mark or blazed a trail for somebody else.
So approachable. That's all. That's what it is, man.
That's what's up. That's what it is. We'll finish up. We come back. Stay with us.
You're so approachable.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me. Whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We're more connected than ever before. 90% of America's students use some form of social media, but not all of it's used in a good way. Hurtful posts online are leading to social isolation for many. Psychologists say it's bullying in a brand new way. Well, Beyond Differences and I Keep Safe are looking to change that with ideas for students, their parents, and even teachers. Take the pledge to be kind online and learn more at wearekindonline.com.
This is big business. This is the American way. Station Network. See ya.
Hey, we're back, man. You listen to the Crush Sports Talk on the Sensation Station Network. It's your boy E. Glaze, Maceo, with our girl Nia, and of course our guest, LaChina Robinson. So, Nia, I think you had a question before we left, right?
Oh, no, I just wanted to speak on when she said that girls come up to her and they're like, "Oh my God, I want to be LaChina Robinson." Do I have a second to share the story?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was my 16th birthday, and I was at the Cheesecake Factory.
Wow.
And I remember it was my best friend, my family, and LaChina walked in. And I'm like, "Oh my God, Mom, that's the lady that's always at the WNBA games. I want to be like her." So
Right.
it's like, you have that effect on a lot of girls, including myself, to know that, going back to more black women in the industry and stuff like that.
I'm about to cry right now.
No, she had that effect on me. And so really you inspired me to really
dope.
want to be a color analyst. Like, honestly, you really did. So it's just a blessing to be sitting here with you today.
Look, y'all ain't tell me I was gonna need my Kleenex up in here. No, I really appreciate that. That means a lot. I think I definitely feel a weight on my shoulders. Like, people always say, "You work so hard." I'm like, well, if I don't do well, I don't know if the next young African American woman is gonna get another shot, right? And so that's what drives me. I got to show them what excellence looks like. I got to show them that we can do this. And so when Nia, as she's coming up, like she is now, if y'all got any jobs out there, she would like to get some experience on the air. But yeah, so like when she comes along, I want a door to be open for her. Thank you for sharing that.
That's what's up.
I remember that. I do remember that.
One day they're gonna say us, Maceo. But we getting it.
Nah, they gonna say me. They ain't gonna say me. Cause you know how
Why are they not gonna say you? I need to get in there.
I made a mistake and said Maceo. I gave him a segment called Maceo Unleashed.
Oh shoot!
We lose friends every week.
You losing viewers.
I'm not that guy. I'm not friendly.
I'll ask Jinx what you about. Jinx will give me the whole school.
You know we scared of Jinx kind of.
Yeah, we.
Oh, y'all are.
Yeah, we call her Mon Jinx. We call her none of that.
Oh, for real? She be keeping y'all straight, huh?
Every time we see her.
Yeah. She
The great thing about Jinx though is she was a little tough when we tried to get Celebration Bowl at the beginning, but now she knows.
Cause we outwork everybody, man. Okay,
y'all do. I will say y'all show up, and I love that about you guys, because the one thing I will say about a lot of men that I know who like sports is they will say, oh yeah, I know Candace Parker, or I do this, or I know WNBA, but they're not showing up like y'all. They're not showing up to cover it. They're not showing up knowing what they talking about. They're not showing up meeting players and talking to coaches and stuff like that. So shout out to y'all, because it really means a lot. And as much as I talk about African American women because we're on the court, black men, like, we need y'all support. Yeah. Seriously. In a lot of ways. So appreciate y'all showing them how it's done. Yeah. Now the fellas need to step up.
Yeah, step up, fellas.
Y'all meet me Friday night at State Farm.
Before we go, ask you one quick question. Do you get starstruck anymore?
Yes.
Who the last one?
The last person I got starstruck, oh my gosh. So I went to an event during NBA All-Star, and they sent me at this table, and I don't know, like who I'm going to be sitting with.
Yeah.
And I turned to my left, and I am sitting next to none other than Cookie Johnson. And I was like, oh my God, this is Magic's wife.
You right there with Cookie.
I was sitting at the table with Cookie, and I was just blown away.
Wow.
I mean, and she just looked, she was so sweet and so kind and just like a normal person, like she have a bunch of logos and all that stuff on. She just looked like a well-dressed woman. And I was like, that's Cookie Johnson.
Man, make sure y'all follow one of the great follows on Twitter. I swear, LaChina.
Oh, yeah, she going ham.
One of the greatest.
She go ham on them.
Yeah,
thank you as always, my friend.
Thank you. Love you guys. Thanks for having us.
We'll be right back.
Thanks, Nia.
Honey.